Yo, what is up everybody? This is Gil's Kicks. If you're new around here, please make sure to subscribe, turn those post notifications on. In this video, I'm be giving y'all 5 tips for beginner sneaker resellers for both manual users and botters. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video. There's a lot of information and I'm gonna be showing y'all and giving y'all the best tips for y'all to budget down and get everything correct. So the first tip I'm gonna want to give y'all is for manual users and botters. This is a big tip for both of y'all, is use autofill. Autofill can really come in handy for very hype drops in case if your bot doesn't have it, or for manual users that's the only source you rely on. There are different types of autofills out there. I'm not going to be covering all of that in this video. If y'all want a whole video dedicated to autofills, let me know in the comment section down below. But I'm gonna be talking about Google Autofill. Google Autofill is free and probably one of the best ones out there. And also, if you're trying to save money, this is very good for you. If you're trying to budget down and trying to keep your monthly expenses as minimum as possible. So for botters, this is very good because you can just get an extra pair, or if your bot is not getting nothing, if it's not cooking in that one release, this can really come in handy and you can get that one checkout at least. Something is something, everything counts, profit is profit. For manual, you're gonna want to strategize a little bit more. You're gonna want to go to the website and see like where the checkout is, where to add to cart, and where to find the size. You can practice with some fake billing information. You can practice hours before the release is actually going on. You can practice with like random stuff with a shirt or some other shoes that there's on the website. So Google Autofill might not work for some sites. There's some sites that their checkout page is so weird, might not be able to check this out. So you might want to go with other autofills. I recommend looking to Twitter or Discord groups. That might be very helpful. Practice makes perfect, so go do that. If you're a manual user, go practice some hours before and everything. Make sure your internet speed is good. You can probably get a server if you want, if you're willing to spend that extra money just to check out some shoes. Tip number 2, practice makes perfect. This goes with autofill also. If you're practicing for manual users and botters, this is a very good tip for y'all. Now for botting on this situation, practice makes perfect, as in make sure your proxies, make sure it works for the site that you're botting for in that certain drop. Make sure to also test those proxies. Make sure to test those proxies, look at the speed, look if they failed, and clear the ones that have failed. If they don't work, then you're not gonna be able to check out. Another one that you're gonna want to look out for is the keywords. Keywords get so many people in sites. Sometimes they try to get botters by putting different keywords than the shoes actually have. So these keywords, you can find them in your bot Discord group, or you can actually try to find them in your cook group. When you've been in the game for a while, you're already gonna know what keywords go with what shoe. You're gonna already assume. If not, if your cook group or your Discord group from the bot doesn't have it, just go with what feels right and what actually makes sense. Don't just be putting random keywords, because then you're gonna check out something else that you're not trying to check out, and there's gonna be a whole brick and you're gonna be stuck with it. Another thing that you can do is just run a task with a fake billing profile and see that it checks out, see that the product works in your bot. Tip number 3, this is a good way already, since you're sneaker botting, to build credit and also to get cashback. Cashback is gonna be your best friend. You can go with Rakuten, or there's other sites out there that can help you out with getting cashback. I know Privacy actually has a cashback thing that you have to apply for. They'll give you 1% cashback throughout the whole month and all the purchases that you make. So you can open different credit cards with different banks, and this is a good way to build up your credit if later on you're trying to take out a loan, buy a car, or buy a house. So there are some banks that will give you 1 to 3% cashback depending on what bank you go with. Also, this benefits you in a great amount of ways, because there are some banks that give you sign-up bonuses. These sign-up bonuses can vary from $100 to $300. They'll pretty much give you this money. You spend the money in a certain amount of time. Also, a big tip that I want to give y'all are opening the credit cards. Make sure there's no monthly fees or yearly fees for these cards, because those will eat you up in the future. If for some reason you can't open a card, or you just don't want to go out and be opening multiple cards, there are 2 other providers that I recommend that are virtual cards instead of physical. First one I will be going over is Privacy. They're free. They do 12 cards a month, and also you have to link it to your bank account, and you have to give proof of your identity and all of that to open up with them. So pretty much these virtual cards, anything you buy with them, that's how you get multiple checkouts on botting or manual. It'll pretty much be a real card with some fake numbers linked to your bank, so every purchase you'll do will go directly to your bank and take out the money from there. Another one is Revolut. Revolut was from the UK and now came to the United States. So if you're in the United States, you can now sign up and get Revolut for free. They do physical cards. I believe you can get 2 physical cards for free and like 2 virtual cards for free. The 2 physical cards, they'll be mailed to you. You'll get them within 1 or 2 weeks and you gotta activate them. It works just as privacy. You gotta link your bank account, you confirm your identity and all of that. So tip number 4 I want to give you is know your budget. This is very important and very crucial for both manual and botters. You're just going to want to make sure that your money is well managed and everything that you are buying, keep track of it and don't let it eat you up. Because in the sneaker game, just as fast as you can make money, you can just see that money disappear with the quickness. So make sure that the drops you're going for are profitable and do not break, because you're going to be stuck with some shoes that are not even your size and you don't even want. And if you do end up selling them, you're going to end up selling them for less than what you bought them for. So for people that are trying to get into botting, you have to understand that the bot is not the only expense. You're also going to want a laptop or a desktop, whichever one you prefer or whichever one you are able to afford. Also, there's multiple expenses like proxies, servers, and cook groups. Expenses can vary from how many shoes you're trying to get that certain month. This really depends on your risk tolerance. If you are able to risk it out or just risk a little bit and grow little by little. Also, before buying the bot, make sure that it's compatible with what you're trying to go for. If you're trying to go for foot sites, make sure to go get a good foot sites bot. If you're trying to go for Shopify, get a Shopify bot, and etc, etc. For all the other sites, just do your own research. I got a whole video covering about the best bots in 2020. And not just that, make sure that the proxies that you get work for the sites. Read the proxy provider in the descriptions, which proxies you're buying and what sites are they compatible with. Also make sure that their speeds are good, they have good success, look at their Twitter and all of that. But just most important, make sure that they're compatible with the sites that you're trying to buy. If you still don't have a laptop or a desktop, you can try building your own if you know about computers and stuff. It's not that hard. It's just only like 6-7 parts. If not, just stick with a laptop or buy a pre-built desktop. Also, before buying your bot, just make sure that your bot that you're buying is compatible with your desktop or laptop. There are some bots that are just laptop and there are some desktops just Windows or iMac. So if you're just getting into botting, you really want to boost your knowledge, like you don't really know nothing that I'm talking about in this video, I really recommend just joining a cook group. Cook groups have so much information. They usually provide release information, site lists, guides, monitors, and predictions on shoes if they're gonna go up or gonna break. Also in those cook groups, there's gonna be staff members that are experts and can help you out with any questions that you have. And they also have exclusive information that you can ask them about. And not just even that, in the Discord group, you're part of a community, you're part of a team, of a family. Now you can just go into the chat and go ask any questions. There's a lot of trolls, but there will be a lot of people trying to help you out there. There's a lot of people that they know how much they struggle when they were starting, like me, and I just like helping people out because nobody would really help me out. There will be a lot of trolls in Discord groups and stuff, but there's also a lot of nice people in the community. Don't get it twisted. Don't think everybody's just bad. There are a lot of people that try to help. I know people that just make it to the top and don't want to help people at the bottom. They think only because they hit 100 clip that they are way better than everybody else, when in reality they were beginners too and they struggled before to get shoes too. Okay, so like, how do you get into a cook group? Unfortunately, cook groups are not easy to get to. They're not like these bots that you can just go and buy them. So these cook groups usually are out of stock, all the good cook groups at least. And you're going to want to be following the developer on social media, on Twitter or Instagram, to see when are they going to have another sale so you can try to join. You got to be extremely fast, like how I said in my first tip. Try to use autofill to get all that information. So for beginners, another tip that I really recommend is keep track of your monthly expenses. It can really add up to you and eat your pockets. But I would recommend for a beginner that's just starting up and is trying to boost their risk tolerance, I would recommend getting $60 a month of DC proxies, which can be for one-click Gmails or can be like for sites for Supeme and Shopify sites that you're gonna need to check out fast. And for residential proxies, I recommend wasting $40 on that every single month. There are some discounts. You can go look for both of them. Also for DC and residential, I recommend spending $100 together on those two proxies. So moving on to emails, you can buy emails, but you don't, unfortunately, it's not mandatory or nothing. You can use your own emails or use your family members or friends' emails to generate one-click. But if you don't have emails or you just don't want to make none, there are some that are already warm that already have one-clicks that you can buy from like sites from Notify. These prices can vary from like $100 to $200. That's what I personally did. I wasted $100 on emails. So of course for emails, you're gonna want something to warm your emails up and to generate these one-clicks. I really recommend AYCD. You can get a great discount from cook groups and it will come down to $18 a month. It's usually $25 a month, so let's just add it up to $20. This will help you generate one-clicks and stuff. So for me, this is a must-have for a beginner. So moving on into servers, they are different server providers, but I recommend if you're a beginner going with Google. They do have a $300 credit for starters if you want to go use that, so it's $0. because you are starting with a $300 credit. If your internet speed is not fast or just you don't have great PC parts, I really recommend for you to get this because it would boost the amount of checkouts that you get. And now to get a cook group, I recommend spending about $50 for a good, really good cook group. Since you are a beginner, there's a lot of information to get out of it. So your monthly expenses should be looking like $170 in total with all of these combined. You're gonna want to spend this amount depending on what's your risk tolerance. If you want to get more or you want to get less, you can go with less, but this is what I recommend for beginners. Remember, this is not including the cost of the shoes, so make sure to budget well. Like I said, make sure to budget well because shoes vary from $180 to like $250. So make sure you still have money enough to cop multiple pair of shoes, or depending how many pair of shoes do you want. Just make sure to take that under consideration. If it's your first time trying to buy, I know it might seem like a lot of information and what I'm talking about is nonsense, but after you take all the information and start learning little by little, it will come to you like this. It's not that hard. It should take you a couple of months like me. I'm still learning throughout the days every little thing about sneaker botting. Don't drain your money if you still don't know what you're doing. So just don't be going out to buying the best proxy providers and everything the best because you see what these YouTubers are doing and all these other guys that are checking out in your Discord group. Just go with what you feel comfortable with and what you think is the best for you. As you get more comfortable in the sneaker community, of course you're going to want to buy better bots, better proxies, better servers, better cook groups. So within time, I do recommend for you to upgrade because this will help you out drastically. Another thing, I know it is frustrating at first. You might not get that many checkouts. You might not check out at all. Ask yourself two questions. What mistakes did you do? And how can you learn from these mistakes? Yes, I know there might be some luck into sneaker botting, but I promise you for hype drops, nothing is luck. I believe knowledge will beat luck in the long run. So if you're getting lucky right now, get more into knowledge because knowledge is really what's gonna come down to it at the end of the day. You're not always gonna have luck by your side. And also don't just be going with other people's setups or don't be giving other people your setups because this doesn't really help out for everybody. Not everybody has the same speeds, not the same everything. The same success that came to somebody from your Discord group might not work for you. So only because you see somebody else succeed and they give you their delays, their proxies and everything might not work for you. Just go with what's comfortable for you and vice versa. Sneaker botting isn't easy as everybody think it is. Everybody thinks it is, oh, you buy a bot and then you just get automatically checkouts. You take all the stock from the stores. When it's really not like that because there's hundreds of people joining every week and stock is still limited. Like especially for hype drops, stock is not always, the numbers are always up there. Lately how foot sites have been just canceling every email and dropping these fake restocks, it's really been hard to get these shoes and it's only going to be getting harder within time with more people joining the community. I like to think of it like as a long-term game. Don't try to play the short-term game because if you're in it just for the money, you might not be able to succeed at all. You gotta learn that this takes time and it takes skill and it's not luck like I said. You might get lucky like I said some drops, but just try to educate yourself just like life. You gotta work for everything. Nothing is handed to you. If you're trying to get with the big dogs, you gotta put in hours like the big dogs. You gotta get up at 7 in the morning, 1 hour before drops. Do all your tasks. Make sure your profiles are right. Your proxy providers are good. Just check that everything is right, your keywords are right. Make sure you're getting the right information, the right times. Set multiple alarms if you're not a morning person. Just make sure to do these things and throughout time you're gonna get used to it and it's just gonna come to you like nothing. It's just gonna come naturally. If this video helped you out in any kind of way and you wanna see more videos of these, please leave me a big thumbs up. Also comment what was your favorite part of the video. Subscribe if you're new or you still haven't yet subscribed to the channel. Please make sure to subscribe. I do try to post daily right now. This has been Gils's Kicks and I appreciate you for sticking this long and I'm out. I'll see you on the next one.